Sir, as the two so-called national parties, the biggest parties in this house, obsess themselves in petty games and cynical horseplay, I wonder if they have really lost touch with public opinion, with issues that grip people, so my time. With issues that grip people on the street, decent citizens who only want their parliamentarians to debate and to pass laws. Unfortunately, sir, I'm not yielding. Protect me. Sir, protect me. Sir.
We will go through it and if
no,
necessary,
we take
we will
strong objection to this word.
Sir.
We don't need any patronizing pontification here.
Sir.
It's a serious matter. It's not debate, school debate and
Sir, protect me.
Those have to be expunged.
Cynical. Sir, unfortunately, it is left to the so-called regional parties and urge Parliament to enact laws that India and countless ordinary citizens want. 28 hours ago, at 11 a.m. yesterday, things were very, very different if it wasn't for the so-called regional parties. I don't want to take on this good moment. I want to be gracious. Because at the end of it all, it's to all our credit that we will pass this law today. And we must do it, keeping in mind that on one side you have child rights activists who are doing their job, and on the other side there may be a lynch mob mentality, some people say, who are expressing themselves. So I stand here to support the bill. Is it a good bill? Is it a very good bill? Or is it an ideal bill? Sir, we believe it's a good bill. And we also believe we'd rather not wait indefinitely for an ideal bill. So this is good enough, sir, for today. Sir, on a personal note, I've been thinking of this for the last few weeks since this bill came up here. I have a 20-year-old daughter. God forbid, if 16th of December 2012 was her, how would I, a so-called responsible, educated, law-abiding citizen, how would I have reacted? Would I have made use of the criminal justice system in our country, sir? Or would I have hired the best lawyers to see that the person who perpetrated the crime got the biggest punishment? Or, sir, would I have taken out a gun, bought a gun, and shot the person? I say this with all responsibility. I don't know, sir, but my mind is inclined. I would have probably taken out a gun and shot the person. So this is a very emotional issue. So when the parents of Nirbhaya and so many people get emotional, we can't even think what's going on in their minds, and I don't even want to think about it. As I said, before we come to the rational, there is this emotion involved, and I cannot myself give any guarantee what would I have done. I would have probably taken out a gun and shot him. Sir, law is not to be made for an individual, and please, let's not mix up child rights with women's rights as we debate this law, sir. Sir, this bill has taken a while. It's a complex bill. And I think the leader of the opposition was fair enough when he said there are very different dimensions to this bill. And I will go with him. Within our own party also there was a lot of discussion, and I'm sure every party discussed. There were various dimensions to the bill. But eventually, as I said, sir, we were on. Sir, not linked to women's rights, but when bills...
What message he's trying to give, just a minute. The giving, as a member of parliament, he would have shot somebody.
I did not say,
I think
don't
that's exactly
misunderstand.
what you have said.
Sir, don't misunderstand.
If that is the
not,
message, I don't
please,
think it's the right message.
Please. Galat, yaar. I am not a member of...
Mr. You
We are
please
talking
continue.
here as members of parliament. We are talking here as... Please understand, sir. Please understand. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I am rationalizing here as a member of parliament. I am hypothesizing of what I would have done as a father. All of you are fathers. I'm not being irresponsible. I'm just trying to express myself. Sir, I've had 4 minutes and 3 interruptions. So keep that in mind for the time, sir. Because I haven't even started. Sir, law for reform or law for penalty? This is the big issue today. If you look closely at this bill, you could take a view that this is law for penalty if you go to the 1618. But there are many provisions in this bill which are law for reform. The 16 principles, as you call it, madam, or the fundamental purpose of this act is reform is first and penalty is the last resort, if you read this bill. This is a very important part, sir. I want to highlight some of the positives of this bill. The juvenile justice boards. There are a lot of details on this bill. They have been defined. The provisions have been defined. 2 states, Odisha and Madhya Pradesh, you are supposed to set up 1 juvenile justice board for every district. Odisha and Madhya Pradesh have 100% juvenile justice boards. And there are 2 states which have more than 100%, both in the east, Bihar and Bengal. I'm not saying you just set it up, but I think all of us need to put good people into those justice boards and make them run well, sir. Sir, several new offences against children have been included in this bill. We welcome it. Militant groups, ragging, disabled children, corporal punishment, all very, very positive parts of this bill. Child welfare committees meeting every 20 days per month. You've been very specific. That's good. And inspection of institutions and children's homes. But as my colleague from Samajwadi Party correctly said, you have to make sure this is implemented, otherwise it will be of waste. Adoption. Madam Minister, CARA has now become a statutory body. We welcome that. You made the adoption process very transparent. But Madam Minister, why did you have to go and take a fight on October the 8th with the poor missionaries of charity? Why? You gave a set of rules. They didn't like your rules. They are an independent organization. They stopped their adoption centers. Let us leave it at that. Let us respect the work they... Yeah, but there were unnecessary statements that, you want a uniform secular agenda, that they were converting people without offering conversions, and then these are all very serious accusations against people who are doing good work. It's a good clause, but please don't bring the missionaries of charity. They have opted out. And being from Calcutta, we are a little more... We are a little more sensitive about these issues. Madam, 2-3 speakers before this have also raised it. But again, on the 19th of December 2015, either the media misquoted you, this is the quote I have, quote, I would blame the Rajya Sabha for not passing the law. Had they passed the bill, he would have gone scot-free, unquote. Madam, then the media, I cannot blame you because the media said you said this. You heard. Now, sir, there are a couple of issues, and I'd be failing in my duty if I did not bring these up, sir. Sir, juvenile justice has to be set on the foundation of rehabilitation and reform. Now, the number here, sir, for repeat offenders in India is 5%. The number for repeat offenders, let's say, in the US is 17 to 20%. Sir, the big issue is, I know a lot of child rights activists, and they have a point, that they're saying in countries like Brazil, in countries like Peru, 18 is the limit. So here I think where we are with this bill is it is not blank 16 to 18. There is no blanket approval. So that's why the role of the juvenile justice system is very, very important. We listened to the child activists who talked about brain mapping. Do we have enough information about brain mapping? And do we keep these children next to these hardened criminals? I think the bigger job, as the JDU lady had said, the bigger job is to make sure that those juvenile homes, etc., are run very well. Sir, Think about who these people are who are committing these juvenile crimes, sir. And this is a number, it goes beyond the statistics. 70% of these poor children, their families earn less than 3,500 rupees a month. 70%. 52% of these children are either illiterate or up to primary level. Sir, we need to work very, very hard. Don't blame A, don't blame B, sir. If our children are becoming criminals, sir, you and I are responsible. You and I are responsible, sir. Sir, above all the politics, I have moved, I'm not sure whether I will press, but I want to, beyond the political parties, present 3 amendments, sir. I'll address 1, 2, 3, and then I conclude, sir. 3 amendments. Sir, the first one, and think about this, madam. One is you say that after 3 years, the child is automatically out of the juvenile home. Consider, because there's no 3 years, there's no magic bullet after 3 years, patak, you'll be reformed. Consider changing that number from 3, this is on page 14, line 19, to 7 years, to 10 years, to give little bit of cushion for these poor boys and girls, and I say poor not in the economic sense, but in the mental sense, to give them a little more time, and the Juvenile Justice Board can then take a call to push it to 3, to push it to 7, because sometimes they need our protection. The second one is page 24, line 36, madam. Page 34, line 36, you say, after they pass out, they will be given financial support. Okay. Very good. My proposal, sir, is, and this is beyond the politics, after the word financial, please add the words educational, psychological support, counseling support for a period of till they are 21 years of age. So just the financial, giving them a check, won't do, sir. And the last thought I want to leave with this house is, which is a bigger crime? If I sell a child or if I offer drugs to a child? Both? I would think so. But in the bill, if you look closely at the bill, there is a different penalty for selling a child. It's 5 years. But if you offer drugs to a child, it's 7 years. Yeah? If you're saying that's a mistake, then please accept my amendment, because, 5 years, 7 years, I mean, who's the bigger devil? Sir, we are here today, as I said at the beginning, not to pass the ideal bill, not to pass a very good bill, to pass a good bill and focus on the implementation of this bill. I am very open not to pass or press for any of these 3 amendments if the House don't want. But if the House considers 1, 2 or 3 or none or 1 or 2 or 3, please consider this, sir. Thank you very, very much. And if I said something in the beginning which hoped to make a political point, I think in the graciousness of this occasion, I would like to compliment the Congress Party and the BJP and all of us in the middle to make this happen today. Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank you. Mr. Navneet Krishnan.